It's Frantic, and today what we have for you is our top 5 movie soundtracks with the caveat that it has to be songs, as in someone singing, not the score. It has to be songs. And I'm here today with
the Wall Man.
Who else am I here with?
You're here with
I'm Clark. Hello.
The professor of soundtracks.
Well, man, is that really Clark, or is that like an AI generated version of him?
No, I think it's the real thing. We need to see some blood.
Just give me a couple of minutes and I'll go bite myself.
I'll start spewing blood.
Yeah.
Wow. So today we almost hit a milestone, hit that milestone, then backed up a minute. So today I want our fans, all 99 of y'all, to know we hit 100 subscribers today, and unfortunately dropped back to 99. So we must have done something wrong. So I'm going to first say, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can be 100 again.
Literally, the Wall Man and I were on the phone just kind of talking about science fiction, whatever. And we're looking at the channel, and I was like, hey, we're at 100 subscribers. He's like, heck yeah, we're at 100. And he's like, wait a second, we're at 99. Someone literally unsubscribed while we were looking.
Of course, I thought it was one of my buddies, and I grilled him, and he said, no, it was not him. So
that would be a great premise for a movie or for like a long-running TV series. You go investigate all 100 of your subscribers.
Yeah, was it you? Was it you, Dom 26?
What is it? Which one of the Kevin Smith movies? I think it might be Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back or something. They go after people who are making mean comments.
That's right. Yeah,
it was Jay and Silent. Was it the remake or was it the original one?
I feel like it's the original one.
I think so too. Yeah. Cock knocker. Yeah, so I feel like we need to mention this week that obviously we had a great episode. Me and Mike did our live stream so well. I was very happy with that. I don't know if you caught any of it, Clark. It was really cool to interact with people. I dug it a lot. I'm not going to lie. I think Mike did too. I think while the launch was happening, there was very chills almost watching it. So I feel like we need to give a little update. Today they are circling the moon. They're on the dark side of the moon, and they should be heading back to Earth today.
And today they set the record. The farthest that human beings have ever been from Earth was reached today, which is an incredible thing to be saying. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was a really awesome thing to watch, experience with the people watching it. We comboed an episode that day, and I think if I could do it all over again, we would have just done the live. Because me and Mike, I have to apologize to our viewers. That video is probably one of our weaker videos because we were pooped. I don't know about you, Mike. I was exhausted, and
towards the end of it, I was getting tired, and people don't realize this is not as easy as it looks, and I'm one of those people. I used to watch YouTube videos. I'd be like, man, that stuff's easy. But man, you get into an hour on this or an hour and a half, and these two guys can tell you, like, it gets tiring.
Yeah, your voice starts getting dry, and honestly, my brain was like, can I think anything else to say?
I know. I start running out, and I'm like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's always good to have Clark on here to help us out, when our brains don't work.
Look, I sympathize with you guys. I've definitely done my share of 3, 4, and 5 hour podcast recordings, and those can
and radio.
Really,
what about your OG radio stuff?
Yeah, that too. Radio, I feel like you always are not that far away from a break because there's commercials semi-regularly. So, which is a little different than a podcast where you start talking and you don't really stop until it's over. But
that's a great point.
And we had to have Clark on here today because it's music. Anytime we have music, Clark is going to be.
He is the professor. He's Frantic University. Y'all know how much, Mike. You're my student. Frantic University gets a lot of love. I get a lot of people to talk about Frantic University. Mainly Claire.
So Clark is like the dean. You're like the professor, and I'm the student.
No. I didn't call him the dean of soundtracks. I called him the professor of soundtracks.
Okay.
Well, you said I'm the student, so
No,
you
I
were
said
my
you're
teacher.
the teacher's assistant, like in Goodwill Hunting. Remember the dorky guy?
Oh, I'm Will Hunting.
No, you're the dorky guy that gets mad at Will Hunting.
Oh, come on. What's that?
I've already explained this to you like multiple times who
Does
you
this
are
make you like
in the
Ben
Goodwill
Affleck?
in the hierarchy of Frantic and Goodwill Hunting. In
This
terms
makes
of
you like
Goodwill Hunting.
Ben Affleck in Goodwill Hunting, right?
Yeah. Retainer. You suspect. I
My
love that.
dream is to one day go to your house and you're not there.
Yep. And he does. Some of a bitch stole my line. Damn, quoting Goodwill Hunting. I love it. Okay.
Every time I come into the chat here, every time I come into our YouTube channel, I'm like, I can't wait for that day that Walls isn't. No, I'm just kidding.
God, I'm dead. So you can take over Frantic and be all
I'm dead. Come on, man.
You want me out
I
of here?
didn't say dead.
Me too, Brute. It's just like Julius Caesar in this bitch. He's trying to take it over. I'll be in the grave, and it'll be called Mike Frantic Podcast, and the moon will be gone, and there'll be nothing but AI. All will be AI.
Yeah, you'll still be here in AI spirit.
But
Like Glenn Beck with George Washington, just sitting there grilling him.
some creepy stuff. Okay, so I think we need to get on the roll here. So as you can see by the awesome creation, this is our thumbnail. So if you're scrolling through, honestly, I've been liking this where I take this shot with the thumbnail you create and make it the thumbnail. I don't know if you've noticed I did that, Mike. That's what I've been doing. So
Absolutely.
Clark is spinning. He hates it. Clark, what do you give this? Clark, what do you give this thumbnail on a scale of 10?
Look,
Come on, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
I try to come to you guys behind closed doors in private and offer.
You knew it wasn't going to happen.
Hey, content's content, pal.
Discreet criticism, and we got to drag it out into the street now.
Oh yeah, that's true. You know who you're dealing with. It's
Look.
Mike and me.
I will just say, broadly, categorically, I'm not a big fan of AI art. On the scale of AI art, it's pretty good.
I think this one is probably the best one, except for I don't have a goatee or a beard or anything. I think that Mike, get me.
Well, I don't have a goatee or a beard or anything.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This photo was from our Patrick Stewart photo, maybe.
God, I don't know where I got that photo from. The two of us.
I feel like I was wearing that shirt during the Patrick Stewart photo.
Now, it wouldn't be during a pro photo op. I haven't used any from a pro photo.
Well,
op.
it must have been from that day.
Probably from that
Yeah.
Dragon Con or something.
Okay,
That's
so
why we
Clark,
look younger too.
what do you give it on a scale out of 1 to 1 to 1 being the best of the best, or 10 being the worst of the worst?
Wow.
Gosh, S tier.
I
Obviously.
mean, you said 1 being the best of the best,
Yeah.
and 10 being the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I guess if Linguini Savini is a 5.
I need to watch that. For everybody watching the it was Tom Savini, right? Was talking about AI at the recent con we were at, and he said, watch this AI entire movie, right? And it's pretty good, right?
It's like a 30-second clip. It's a very short 30-second clip. But yeah, I was surprised Tom Savini was really going to bat for AI, because he's been, such a big practical effects guy for so long. But he's a big defender of AI. And his case, he said any doubters need to go watch this little short called Savini Linguini, which is an AI version of young Tom Savini playing around with a big bowl of linguine and turning it into different shapes.
And that's a 5?
Look, I've seen some pretty bad AI.
Yeah, I know. Believe me.
So on that scale, I guess this is a 7.
Wow. Mike, congratulations. Yeah. Okay, well, let's start
Thank
with
you.
Clark,
You're
you're our
welcome.
guest. You give us the first soundtrack that you chose for our
Okay.
top 15.
All right. kind of clarifying what Mike was saying earlier too. Like I said, he was saying, none of these are film scores. They are soundtracks of pre-existing songs. And none of these, for me at least, and I think this is probably true for what you guys have picked, these aren't musicals either. I haven't picked any musicals where people break out into song
like
during the movie. This
Grease,
is like
Grease,
yeah, like Grease or Into the Woods or Beauty and the Beast, whatever it may be. It's talking about soundtracks here. We're picking basically a selection of pre-existing songs for the most part, some original songs.
Yeah, I was about to say I have one that's all
yeah.
original songs.
I do too, or mostly original songs now that I think about it. But yeah, these are songs used in the movie. So my number 5 is Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets. And Scorsese is a filmmaker who is remarkably good at assembling soundtracks for his movies. One of those guys, you could put 3 or 4 on this list just from his filmography because he's so good at that. But I picked this one for a couple of reasons. One, because it's a very important soundtrack in the history of soundtracks. This is probably the soundtrack that most popularized the use of pre-existing rock songs in movies to sort of enhance the effect of the film. It wasn't really a big thing in the early days of cinema. You look back at the 40s, 50s, and 60s, that wasn't really a thing people did. Put popular songs onto movie soundtracks to sort of give them a boost.
Right.
But Scorsese really saw the dramatic potential in that. And uses some songs to great effect in this movie. Mean Streets had a budget at the time of $500,000. Guess how much of that budget was spent on the soundtrack?
$500,000?
Not quite that much, but half the budget. He did have to pay Robert De Niro something. But yes, he spent half the budget, $250,000 on the soundtrack for this movie, just because he thought that the songs would be that important to it. And I think he was right. And for me, there's a lot of great music in here. It's the first time he used the Rolling Stones prominently, and Scorsese always does that well. He used Jumpin' Jack Flash. But the song that always just kind of gives me goosebumps every time because it's so well used is the opening credits song. He uses the Ronettes' Be My Baby over the opening credits of this movie. And the way he goes into it, there's this early scene. It's like a minute long with Harvey Keitel. And he does a little bit of voiceover narration, and he's getting up out of bed and he's looking at his face in the mirror, and he goes and he lays back down in bed. And while he's laying back down in bed, you hear those drums from Be My Baby start to kick in, that doom, 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 and then the opening credits start. It's all this home video footage and the song kicks in, and it's just electrifying, the effect of that song in this movie. And a really cool mix of stuff throughout the soundtrack as well. Some old kind of Italian songs are used in certain parts, some kind of doo-wop songs, some rock and roll songs. And so yeah, that would be my number 5, Mean Streets. Great soundtrack.
Yeah. Obviously you said Scorsese was, would you say he kind of started the whole, because Casino, Goodfellas kind of do the same thing where they take the Departed take these era specific music, just like you said, Rolling Stones, Give Me Shelter.
Yeah, I think if you had to pick 2 soundtracks, and they're both from the 70s, that really kind of spearheaded this movement, one would be Mean Streets, and the other one would be George Lucas's American Graffiti, which used a bunch of songs from the era in a very effective way. And between those 2 movies, you kind of kickstarted a movement where a lot of movies started doing this. And that movement didn't really hit its stride for a little while, but I think those 2 are kind of at the start of it.
Even though it's not rock, you got Saturday Night Fever.
Saturday Night Fever, that's a little later in that decade, but hugely popular disco soundtrack, best-selling soundtrack.
Bee Gees.
Like the Bee Gees songs, and other disco songs, but those Bee Gees songs really,
Now, that brings a good point. Those songs were created for that movie, though, right?
Some of them were. There's a lot of pre-existing disco music in Saturday Night Fever, but I think most of the big hits were written for that soundtrack.
Okay.
So speaking of, you were talking about Scorsese spending that much money on the soundtrack. It kind of reminds me of Clerks, where Kevin Smith spent a ton of money on that Soul Asylum song that plays at the end. Like he spent more like money on that, I think, than the rest of the movie combined or something.
Wow.
Just to get the rights to that song.
Yeah. And that will bring up an interesting point to our audience. We cannot play any samples of this song because we're broke. Inside Frantic has no money. But we can sing them. So
or you wouldn't be able to watch this video because it would get marked for copyright.
Yeah, he would be buried. You're right. Okay, great one. Well, Mike, you want to do one?
All right. We'll start at my number 5 here. I'm going to start with one that very popular early 90s. You have Pulp Fiction. And speaking of someone who can put music into film, that's something that Tarantino has been well known for.
Mm-hmm.
The soundtrack actually is really good in that it mixes in lines from the movie with music. And big songs from this. You have, I think the one that is probably the biggest is probably Let's Stay Together from Al Green, which is just an incredible song. The one that I've always gone to, even though it was from a band in the 90s, was Urge Overkill's remake of Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, because there's a scene in the movie where Uma Thurman's character, Mia Wallace, is they get her and John Travolta's character, Vincent Vega, get back from the popular dance scene. And they get back to her house, and she puts on some music, and she puts this song on, and she's dancing around. But this song is playing as she has a drug overdose, and it's a very popular scene. It's a great scene in the movie with the music. Of course, the other big one is going to be God, which song was it that they're playing while they're dancing? It's
it was a Teenage Wedding.
Teenage Wedding, yeah.
I forget the exact title of that song, but
oh my gosh. But that one's very popular.
If Love is a Red Dress?
No.
No.
Or it could be called You Never Can Tell, because it goes to show You Never Can Tell. But I can't remember the name of it, but I know exactly the song you mean.
It's You Never Can Tell. It's
You Never
Chuck
Can
Berry.
Tell. Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's a very popular one for the dance scene, which honestly, if you watch anybody in the 90s, and even up to now doing a dance scene, they're always doing
yeah.
They're always, I'll do the Star Trek one.
But, the only Chuck Berry song I see is called Jack Rabbit Slims.
Well,
Jack Rabbit Slims is where they play the...
that's where they play it.
Oh, so maybe they don't have the actual song on the soundtrack, just like...
It's on the soundtrack.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm looking at
thanks for trying to tell me I'm wrong about this. But
I get the list right here. I'm sorry.
I have my list up here of the songs from the
Well, then why don't you tell me what the name is? You've been asking for the last 5 minutes.
It's track number 9. You Never Can Tell. We've already figured that out. Why are we going back to 10 minutes ago?
Okay, I didn't know we established it. Great. Let's move. It's good.
Okay, Clark, remember when Walls is doing his when I keep interrupting him?
All right.
So another popular one is what's it here? We got Son of a Preacher Man's a great one. Flowers on the Wall is like a big one because it's right there when Bruce Willis is in the car and he thinks he's gotten away with this, with getting over on the big guy. God, what's Ving Rhames' name in that?
Marcellus.
He thinks he's gotten over on him, and then Marcellus is right there. But this is a song that Bruce Willis is singing right there, and it's such a great song. It's like smoking cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. Don't tell me.
We used to play that on the radio station that I used to work for. That was in the rotation quite a bit.
But that would be my number 5, Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction's in my top 5 favorite films of all time. This soundtrack in my top 5 favorite soundtracks of all time.
Nice pick.
Is that 2 Harvey Keitel movies in a row?
Yeah, Keitel is the wolf.
Wow.
We got 13 more Harvey Keitel movies to go.
13 more. I will say that
who has the piano at number 1?
Stop interrupting me. I will say this, that me and Claire was debating the list today, and she's like, "How can you not have a Tom Cruise movie in here? You need Top Gun." And then it hit me. One of them is a Tom Cruise movie. I'm like, that's the Tom Cruise movie, Claire. But we'll get to that answer in a little bit. So okay.
Yeah, Top Gun with "Take Your Breath Away" and "Danger Zone." That's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, and another best-selling soundtrack.
It was very hard not to go with it because like you said, and I love the dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 the theme for Top Gun.
The Harold Faltermeyer score.
Yeah, like when it's played in both Top Guns when they're on the aircraft carrier, and it's just an awesome beat that starts. But I got to go with, so it's all history with me, Mike. Frantic, you know me. I like to talk about my history, where I was like when I saw a movie in a theater and what it did for me and how I experienced this music. Forrest Gump come out, and I saw it at the Ritz Theater in Thomaston, Georgia, which is still around. It's a small single screen theater. I saw Forrest Gump there so that was 94, which is the same year as Pulp Fiction. So I was 12, and this soundtrack, which I bought, I think it's a 2-disc CD, if I remember correctly, it exposed me to so much more music than I would have got exposed to if I was listening to the radio or whatever. We're talking, California Dreamin' by Mamas and Papas. I just thought that was the best song. But Forrest Gump being such an era movie, like you were talking about, Clark, you were in the 70s and and Scorsese really likes to stick with an era. Forrest Gump goes through 3 eras,
Yeah.
It goes through the hippie days with California Dreamin'. It goes through the Vietnam era with all those songs. I'm trying to think what was the big Vietnam song. It was on Creedence, wasn't it?
Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son.
Fortunate Son. Is that not when you hear that, you want to see Huey's flying over and Bubba talking about shrimp? You know what I mean?
You do Vietnam movie bingo, and Fortunate Son is on there.
It's got to be, right?
Center square.
But then there was other hits like there was Simon and Garfunkel's on there, and I'd never experienced hearing, Garfunkel's voice that would lead me to have a major love to Garfunkel, like "Bridge Over Troubled Water" or what was the Sign song? Songs of Silence, obviously, is a big hit. There's a bunch of Neil Diamond in there. It's just Against the Wind is in
on
there.
The Forrest Gump soundtrack. It's Mrs. Robinson's on there, though, right?
Mrs. Robinson's definitely on there because
that's a great song.
That's where I'm trying to remember the scene. Is that where Forrest is in there while she's making out and he has to? Oh, Jeannie starts making out with the roommates in college. It's like his first experience with a woman or something like that. But that being said, like I said, Against the Wind, Kool and the Gang. There's all kinds of errors in this soundtrack. So I had to go with a big, I had to pick one of these. And you could go Guardians of the Galaxy. That was a big one, that kind of did this. It kind of does a lot of different errors, like the 80s and the 70s. But I went with Forrest Gump because it was so, even the score, I can't remember who did the score.
Alan Silvestri.
Alan Silvestri, who
Tangerine Dream.
Well, it's funny. Alan Silvestri's on another CD that I'm doing today, and just that score is so perfect, and it melds so good with that music. Chuck Berry's got a song on here. It's just a great soundtrack.
That soundtrack has probably the best American band, and that's the Beach Boys, and it has Sloop John B, which is one of my favorite Beach Boys.
How does that go? I'm not familiar with that one.
Go home.
Trying to remember where that's in the movie. I need to rewatch it. My favorite Beach Boys is "Round, Round, Get Around, I Get Around."
Mine's probably "God Only Knows."
Yeah, I was about to say, come on, we got to go Pet Sounds.
Yeah. Wow, golly, that's a great song, Clark. Yep. Okay.
Walls, listen to the Pet Sounds album from the Beach Boys, and you might agree that they're the best American band.
Did you hear me disagree with you? I think they harmonize better than they're way better than the Beatles to me.
Well, the Beatles weren't an American band, but
well, I know,
Are you sure? I'm thinking of the Monkees.
The Beatles.
The monkeys. Hey, we're the monkeys. There's like the Beatles.
Is that the clue you got? You start singing the monkeys in your head.
Yeah, I thought it was the monkeys.
The story I've always heard is that the motivation for the Beatles kind of stretching themselves and trying to do new things with Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band is that they wanted to try to make an album as good as Pet Sounds because they all love that album so much. And that was them
I'll
trying
start
to
listening
match
to it tonight because what song did you sing, Clark, that's on there?
God Only Knows would be my
God
pick.
only knows. Yeah,
it's a
you
great
can't even
album all
recreate.
around.
You can't even recreate that song. It's so pretty to listen
All
to.
the harmonizing on that song. I mean, good God.
God, dude.
And that's what the Beach Boys are really good at that too.
Yeah.
Mike, at some point we need to try to harmonize on here and do kind of like a Frantic harmonization thing.
Well, speaking of which,
do row your boat like in Star Trek 5.
I do not understand what it means. Oh God, I liked him before he was dead.
You know, they sing that in Dante's Peak, which I watched last night too. As they're on the boat.
Row your boat.
Yeah, because they're on that boat, and the acid from the lava is melting the bottom of the boat, and they're not even worried about it. I'm like, what's going on here?
Wait a minute, there's acid in lava now? Jesus Christ.
That's what, he said the acidic something, you know, it's something scientific that I don't know
sulfur
jack
or something,
about.
yeah. Well, cool.
But getting back to this soundtrack, Forrest Gump, you were going to mention something about something you and Clark did at a Star Trek convention.
Yeah, it's forgot about that. So
see, look, I interrupt with good stuff to help you, not to tell you you're wrong.
Well, you did tell me I was wrong a minute ago with the monkeys.
Actually, I think you figured that out on your own.
No, you straight up's like, you're right, but I was thinking the monkeys. But okay, so the song is from Three Dog Night, and it's which song was it, Clark?
Joy to the World.
Joy to the World. So, Frantic. We've known each other a long time, these three guys. You've probably heard this story. We went to a Star Trek convention. It's still the greatest convention I've ever been to. Yep. I don't think it'll ever be top. So we do a karaoke with Gowron and Martok. Mm-hmm. And I'm like...
Robert O'Reilly and J.G. Hertzler.
Well, it started with Trip and Malcolm from Enterprise, and they were not good. I'm sorry. Didn't like them. They were jerks. They were mean to me. Whatever. They hurt my feelings. So I'm glad they got off the stage. So the Klingons took it over, and I'd had a few drinks. I think I had a bottle of vodka sitting there with my book bag. This is what's so great about this con. There was only like 30 people there listening to this karaoke. And I tell Clark, I'm like, Clark, let's go sing a song. And I think, Clark, if I'm remembering this correctly, you're like, hey, I'll go sing it, but you got to be my backup.
That's what I remember, too, because I didn't want to go up there by myself. So it was like, if you come with me, I'll go sing a song.
And I was like, yeah, let's do it, dude. Let's do it. So the freaking song starts, and Clark just belts a, time I was a bullfrog. And the whole crowd went nuts. The two Klingons went nuts. And these 40 people who were practically asleep.
They were sitting in there. I have video of this, and maybe I'll put it up one day. But there's video. I was videoing this. The only reason I haven't put it up is because I'm holding the phone, and you can hear me singing, and you don't want that. But
neither do I.
It hit that, and there's a bunch of ladies on the front row. And as soon as he belts that out, they all get up and just start dancing. I'm like, whoa, okay.
It's one of the greatest karaoke moments I've ever experienced, seen, or been involved in. And it's such a surreal moment, being how much I loved Martok in DS9, and he is singing with me in a microphone. I remember it, and I remember thinking, soak this in and enjoy this. This is incredible. Yeah. And I still to this day can't believe it. And they were drunk and they were having a great time. It makes me really want to do one of those Star Trek cruises one day, because they just looks like it's a big party, kind of like that con was. Yeah. And it was a great time. And Clark killed it. Like I think I sang a song after that, and I'm like, I gotta follow that.
I think I benefited from whoever went before me was doing kind of a slow song, and the slow ballads are never good karaoke choices, even if they're great songs.
Right.
So there was that, but yeah, my memory of that too was at the end of it, J.G. Hertzler, who plays Martok, he gave me a fist bump, and he's like, "Hey, that was cool, man." So that made me feel good.
Yeah, both him and Gowron were really cool.
Yeah.
At the end of the karaoke, we all got on stage, and what was it? It was
right.
a
Bohemian
song.
Rhapsody.
Yeah. We were all doing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, and the whole crowd did it, and it was just a cool moment because you're in that con. I want to say I'm probably 31, maybe 34, and it's been 10 years ago, and you're just in there with a good group of people who totally understand what, like, the whole, just the Star Trek thing,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it's you know what? You go to a lot of conventions now, and I know there's Star Trek communities, there's horror communities and all, but when you go, there's more cliques than anything, and you don't get that
camaraderie.
The camaraderie like at that convention. Like if this
Yeah.
was like, it felt like everybody was there to be friends with one another. There was no cliques. There was no. It was one big Star Trek family, and it was awesome.
It's my opinion that the
100%
con
agree.
didn't have the crowd that they were expecting, but the cast or the stars took it and said, you know what, and had a great time with it. Kind of like how we're sitting at a bar, did the Rat Pack thing, which is Damar, Wayum, hey Moogie, and they're sitting there while we're playing a little board game. You remember that? They're sitting at that bar. We didn't bother them. They were doing their thing, and we were doing our thing. And it was just like, I bring it up often. That con was just small enough, probably cost it from being ever coming back because it wasn't very successful. But as far as intimacy goes, it was really awesome.
Yeah,
I'll never forget sitting in the Westin ballroom or downstairs, the whatever it's called, waiting room.
Right.
Well, okay, I think of the word
foyer.
Foyer or whatever. We're sitting down there, and Jonathan Frakes comes through, and we're all drinking Red Bulls. He's like, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bull, Red Bulls for everybody.
Right. It's almost like they were comfortable at this con.
Yeah.
They knew they wasn't going to get harassed. They knew they weren't going to have people walk up trying to get free photos.
They weren't getting swarmed.
They wasn't getting swarmed. It was just, hey, these people clearly are Star Trek fans, and I want them to feel special. And man, we felt special.
And with the exception of William Shatner, who's always super popular, you had time to really talk to everybody who was there. That you went up to talk to.
The rooms were, you would talk. Great point, Clark. You would talk to, like, I don't know, Damar, Richard Biggs, and he would be there by himself. He wanted you to stand there and talk to him because he's making the time. You don't just want to stand there by himself,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Or going up to one of the guys from Enterprise and asking if they were doing something that night, and they're like, "What?"
I don't remember that one. I do not recollect that one.
Was it Reed?
Yeah. Here's the deal, guys. So Mike's trying to make fun of me. That's fair because he slammed the door on me pretty hard. And that's why I didn't really care for his karaoke. But what did I say? I didn't say karaoke. What did I say?
I forgot. There was something
trivia.
Else going on.
Maybe I said trivia. Hey, we're going to do your trivia later tonight. And he's like, you mean karaoke? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's what I mean. And you could just tell he was annoyed by me. It's like, okay.
Oh,
dude.
at first he was like, "What? Am I doing trivia? Am I doing some sort of trivia?"
I'm sorry, dude. Trivia, karaoke, they're kind of the same realm. Okay.
Number four from Clark.
Yeah, Clark.
Number 4.
Let's move on.
All right. This is one we were talking to. Mike says he has one too that's primarily one artist, and this is one that's primarily one artist. The 1999 Paul Thomas Anderson movie Magnolia, which features almost exclusively, not completely exclusively, but almost exclusively songs by the great singer-songwriter Amy Mann. This was the movie that really introduced me to her music. And it's a combination of songs that she wrote for this movie and songs that were from the album that she had released just before this movie. I think it's called Bachelor Number 2. But they're so effective here. The first song she uses is a cover of the classic song "One Is the Loneliest Number." She does a great cover of that over the kind of big opening montage in this movie when you're being introduced to all the different characters and their life situations. For those who don't know, Magnolia, it's a fascinating movie, and it's sort of hard to describe, but it's basically the lives of a bunch of different people in a bunch of different situations kind of intertwining and colliding in a fascinating and unexpected way. You've got this cop, this kind of down on endless luck cop played by John C. Reilly. You have this extremely misogynist motivational speaker who's played by Tom Cruise in a great performance by Tom Cruise. You've got this old man who's dying, played by Jason Robards, and his caretakers, played by Philip Seymour Hoffman. You've got William H. Macy as this this former champion who's now struggling to make ends meet. All these different characters. So it's like a dozen other, primary characters being woven through this big story. But the music of Amy Mann is one of the things that kind of weaves this story together. And it's used so effectively. There's one moment in particular later in the movie. There's a song she does called Wise Up. And it's maybe 2 hours into this 3-hour movie. It's getting kind of late in the movie, and it's kind of a big dramatic moment in the movie. And all of a sudden, everything in the movie stops. This song plays, and every character in the movie, whatever they're doing, whatever part of the story they're in, there's just a clip, 10 or 15 seconds per character of them singing along to this song on the soundtrack. Like they stop what they're doing and they sing along to this Amy Mann song. And it's so powerful. And I've never seen anything else quite like that in another movie, but it works. There's another song, probably her one kind of hit song from this movie is a song called Save Me that's used over the end credits. That's a great song. The only other music outside of the Amy Mann songs, there's a couple of songs in the bar William H. Macy goes to by Supertramp that are on the soundtrack as well. And there's a really good score by John Bryan, who's somebody who did a lot of work with Paul Thomas Anderson during this era and a good album producer in his own right. But I became a big Amy Mann fan as a result of seeing this. And I actually got to see her in concert maybe a decade ago. And she played songs from this soundtrack, and it's a great show. Magnolia is my number 4.
Now, who directed this again?
This is Paul Thomas Anderson. This is his third movie. After
he did
Boogie Nights. Right, he did One Battle After Another more recently, and finally won his Oscar. He did Boogie Nights right before this, and Boogie Nights got a bunch of Oscar nominations. And they, after that, basically said, "Hey, you're great. Make whatever you want." And his kind of blank check, make whatever you want movie was Magnolia.
Did he do?
He also did There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. Yeah,
he did that. The Master. Phantom Thread, great director, great filmmaker. And another guy, this is a common thread with the directors of the movies we're picking. Paul Thomas Anderson, great at using, music in his movies. Boogie Nights was another one I could have picked. Just an insanely good soundtrack for that movie. But
you got a touch in it.
With Mark Wahlberg singing it.
One of the great vocal performances of all time.
A little bit of a hint what one of mine is.
A Mark Wahlberg album.
Hey, that's another Tom Cruise. Claire will be happy.
There you go.
I got to say this before we move on to the next one. Or Clark, I don't know if you've done it or not, but
yeah,
I watched this movie because Mike recommended. Like, you remember back in the day, man, Mike, you'll remember this. This is pre, whatever, but or a Blu-ray. But there was a moment where Best Buy was like releasing these incredible DVDs for super cheap.
Yeah,
like these,
and they would have like these deals where you could get stuff for cheap.
3-disc deals on great movies. And I remember, I think we went to Best Buy, and I was like, "Well, what about this one?" And he's like, "Magnolia's great, dude." And I think I might have seen it twice, so I really need to watch it again. I don't even know when you said there's a big connection at the end. I don't know if I want to know you to tell me, but I don't even remember that. I remember loving Tom Cruise. I remember Philip Seymour Hoffman was great. Definitely need to rewatch it again.
Yeah, it's really cool. Basically, all of the stories overlap throughout the movie in different ways. Like all of these characters, they don't all know each other, but everybody's story is connected to somebody else's story, and they keep bumping into each other in interesting ways. So it's really kind of an amazing feat of editing too, the way all of these are brought.
It's kind of like Crash. Mike loves Crash.
In that one specific way, it is like Crash.
Okay. Yeah, between Crash and Magnolia, one of them should have won an Oscar for Best Picture, but
one of them did.
The one that did win.
One of them did win an Oscar for Best Picture. Okay.
All
Mike,
right.
what's your number 4?
Number 4. I tell you what, I'm going to go. Now, I actually have 2 albums that are going to have all of the same person. My first one is going to be maybe the most popular soundtrack, and that's going to be Purple Rain from Prince. So,
Purple Rain.
I'm not going to lie. The movie Purple Rain is not great. It's an okay movie. The soundtrack is incredible because you get Let's Go Crazy, which has one of the best intros of all time. The Dearly Beloved,
Dearly Beloved.
Yeah. Then you've got Purple Rain, which is a great song. He played it at the Super Bowl during what is the best Super Bowl halftime show of all time.
Wow.
It actually started raining as he was playing it. And with the purple lights, it looked like Purple Rain. But you get that song, and then you get maybe my favorite Prince song, and that's When Doves Cry. That is one of the best songs ever.
Yeah.
And this album, to show you how popular it was on the Billboard 200, it held the top spot for 24 consecutive weeks.
Wow.
You don't see that anymore. Albums aren't that good anymore. People are putting out albums now, or they're putting out singles more so than albums. So you don't see that at 24 weeks. And you know what else came out the same year as Purple Rain?
What's that?
Thriller. Michael Jackson's Thriller came out that year. So basically that year, Michael Jackson's Thriller, I think, was at the beginning of the year, and it held the number 1 spot. And then Purple Rain came out, and it held the number 1 spot. I think there was only like 2 or 3 albums that held number 1 spot for that whole year.
That's incredible.
And
almost like barring Taylor Swift, almost unheard of now, for an album to dominate like that.
Exactly. And I mean, and coming out at the same time as Thriller, which is arguably Michael Jackson's best album.
Yeah.
But yeah, it remained on the Billboard Top 200 for 167 weeks.
Incredible.
That's unbelievable.
That's over 3 years, Walls.
I was doing the math.
Now, Mike, I have to ask you, how does this stack up to Prince's equally acclaimed Batman soundtrack?
Yes, Batman's in here.
And because I saw this earlier, you guys weren't lucky enough to see this, but Clark had a Shaun of the Dead background.
Uh-huh.
And they throw the Batman soundtrack at the zombies because they're looking through the vinyl and they're like, "Oh, the Batman soundtrack," and Sean's like, "Throw it."
Yeah.
I would not throw the Purple Rain soundtrack.
Is that why you had that background there, Clark? Was
it
because
is.
of that scene?
Yeah. It was the scene where they're trying to decide what to do with the records and they throw the Batman soundtrack. Yeah.
But yeah, Purple Rain, it's the one that I think all of us, Clark just did Amy Mann, Magnolia, and I sadly don't know nearly enough about Amy Mann as I should. I know she's good. Walls is probably going to have like a Barney the Dinosaur thing later on that I'm not going to know.
Look, Barney has several classic hits. You got the cleanup song. You got I Love You.
Teletubbies.
But Purple Rain is like the one album that everybody can agree on. Nowadays, you have boomers, you have the Gen X, you have Gen Z, millennial, and whatever they're called today, kids. But everybody can agree that Prince's Purple Rain is great, and that Prince's halftime show at the Super Bowl was the best.
I would say Coldplay is a better halftime show.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Got to disagree with you on that one, Walt.
Coldplay is great.
Oh my god!
I was gonna pick one of the what's the movies with the Hunger Games? It's got a Coldplay song they created for one of them. It's really great.
Coldplay's right up there with Nickelback.
Dude, that's wrong. That is so wrong.
Actually,
I do like the first couple Coldplay albums, but they kind of lost me after a while.
Nickelback's actually better than Coldplay.
Wow.
I like Photograph and the song from Spider-Man 2. I don't like any Coldplay songs.
Well, since we're going to talk about that, Nickelback had a great song in the soundtrack, Spider-Man. Great
2?
Song. Was it? No, it was the first Spider-Man.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I've seen a hero could save me. Yeah. Okay. We're moving on, I guess. And that makes my number four. Number four. So this is going to be a quickie. So we can go ahead and move on. This album I love. Okay, I picked out, you guys picked. I get what Clark's trying to do. He's trying to pick very artistic. I love it. That's what I love about Clark. What does Mike try to do? He tries to pick stuff that nobody's heard of. He's old. Now, what is Walt?
Yeah, nobody's heard of Purple Rain soundtrack.
Yeah.
I mean, when you start, I don't know if you're millennials, centennial. I mean, how are you supposed to respond to that?
Pulp Fiction and Purple Rain. I mean, come on, everybody's heard of those.
Let me tell you something, man. I picked this. What I picked was albums I had in my possession in my CD player with my earphones on that I bought from On Cue, and I bought this soundtrack because I loved it. Judge Dredd. Okay.
You're right. Nobody's heard of the Purple Rain soundtrack, but they've all heard of the Judge Dredd soundtrack.
Well, the whole point is, everybody knows Purple Rain. Everybody's heard every song on it. I get it. You picked it, but I want people to go out and listen to this song. And Dragon, if you're listening, dude, go listen to this song and tell me if it's not great or not. This soundtrack was at the pinnacle of the 90s where you had the movie comes out and the album, the soundtrack or the compilation CD was just as important as the movie. And because it had stars on there. Look at this. White Zombie, The Cure, Cocteau Twins, Left Field. So where am I going with this? One song. You listen
Which
to this
White
soundtrack.
Zombie song did it have?
I'll tell you that. That's a great question. It is Supercharged Heaven.
Gosh, I don't know that one.
I'm sure it's great.
Listen to it. Yeah,
I'm sure
I like
it's
White
great.
Zombie a lot.
There's a song on here. I think it's "Release Your Pressure" by Left Field is great, and "Darkness Falls" are great. Okay, you know when you heard these songs on the movie, like when you're watching the movie, where do you hear them at? 99.9% of the time they're in the credit roll.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there watching your VHS. These songs come on. It's like, wow, that's a great freaking song. I'm reminded of an incredible soundtrack that I didn't put on here that was kind of the same era. Fifth Element had a really cool soundtrack with really cool stuff. But the reason to listen to this soundtrack, one song from The Cure called the Dread Song. It is a incredible anthem. Alan Silvestri did the rest of the soundtrack and helped The Cure produce it. And it is just a awesome song. Go check it out. Judge Dredd, number 4 for the wall, man.
Is it better than the song on the Crow soundtrack?
You know what? That's a great question.
I just recently
heard that Crow song. Yeah, it's better. The Dredd song's better.
Okay.
The Dredd song, I mean, I can't recreate it too well, but it's like, never let it go, never let it down. And it's like this, just never, it's like, sometimes you gotta fight to win. It's just this awesome, like, build you up and let's go fight, And it starts right when the credits turn on, the Dredd song. And it's phenomenal.
A little bit of trivia, because I got to take any excuse to bring up my guy, Jerry Goldsmith. Jerry Goldsmith was supposed to score Judge Dredd. And in fact, he scored the first trailer that came out for Judge Dredd, has original Jerry Goldsmith music.
Wow.
That was supposed to be his main theme for the movie. and then he had a
That's
scheduling
awesome to know.
conflict. Yeah, and Silvestri took over. And Silvestri did a great score, though. He did a great job.
He did, and it's got this ballad. It's really good sci-fi. Judge Dredd, you know, I know, Mike, you're not going to agree with me. I didn't even say, look, it's a sci-fi movie, which we're Frantic. I think it's a wonderful sci-fi movie. I understand that he takes his helmet off, and it really irks the enthusiast out there. I get it. I really do. I didn't know Judge Dredd. I didn't read 2089 AD or whatever it was called. But I did love Sylvester Stallone, and I think he did. It's just fun, man. It's a fun.
I am the law.
I am the law.
I have to agree with you on that, Walls, because you know I had heard so many bad things about this movie before I watched it that I avoided it for a long time because everybody's like, "Oh man, that Judge Dredd with Stallone, it is so bad."
It's not.
But one day I turned it on and I'm like, you know what? That was kind of fun. I like the new one a lot more, but
yeah.
The Stallone Judge Dredd's
the special effects are really good. Who's the guy that we talk about all the time is Chief Justice, and any movie with him in it is great.
Is it Max von Sydow?
Max von Sydow, who he goes off in the Cursed Earth and links up with Herschel from The Walking Dead, who was a prominent actor back in his day. Scott Wilson. And their scenes together, the Scott Wilson stuff with the cannibals is it's good sci-fi, man. Yeah. It's like, you know, who's the little sidekick? It's
Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider. Rob Schneider's like, praise Lord, oh my God. And because he's trying to side with the Clampett brothers or whatever they are. And he's like, and Sylvester Stallone's like, by the way, your new friends, I forgot to tell you, they're cannibals. It's like, and he turns like, oh my God. And it's, you know, it's just a really, like you said, fun. It's just hokey fun. Good special effects. The bad guy was good, Armando Sante. But this soundtrack, man, you know, I hear this soundtrack, it music, Clark, and I know you'll back me up on this, is a time machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
I could put this soundtrack on tonight and I'm back in 1997. And that's why it's in the top 5.
Rob Schneider was in Demolition Man too, right?
As a matter of fact, he was.
Yeah. And he's the one that's like, he doesn't know how to use the three
He's the 3 seashell guy. Clearly, Sylvester Stallone loves some Rob Schneider, who, you know, Schneider's gone on to have quite a career as far as comedic goes.
Yeah, you did 2 Deuce Bigelow movies.
Oh, you know what?
He did every Adam Sandler movie almost.
There you go. What's his biggest accomplishment? Being friends with Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler gave him a Maserati at one time. So, you know, good.
He is good in all the Sandler movies.
Hey, dude, I'm not bashing on Rob Schneider. I think
you can do it.
I really like him in anything I see him in, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. And clearly Adam Sandler loves him. So, yeah.
Except for, didn't he? What was he the one who got bumped out of Grown Ups 2? That he was in the first one and he wasn't in the second one.
Yeah, he wasn't in the second one. I don't know what happened.
So
I always heard it was a scheduling conflict, but
have y'all ever watched?
Like you'd want to be in that because he probably would have gotten a big payday.
For sure.
Have y'all ever watched? It's a Sandler production called The Wrong Missy on Netflix.
I've heard of that's David Spade, right?
Right, it's Spade, but it's definitely like a Sandler movie. It's actually pretty hilarious, and there's a song in there. It's pretty vulgar. I can't really sing it. During the lovemaking scene, done by Rob Schneider's daughter. Yeah, and it's Mike. If you watch it, it's at the tail end of the movie when the gist of the movie is he invites the wrong Missy to this event, like for his work, and she is a nightmare, dude. She's a psychopath, and it's actually she's really good in it. Whoever the actress is, yeah. Check this song out.
So going back to the Judge Dredd thing with the helmet, I just don't like that because Judge Dredd never takes his helmet off, and that's why I like the Mandalorian trailer. It pissed me off whenever they show him with his helmet off, and I'm like, come on!
He takes his helmet off in the Mandalorian trailer. They got Pedro Pascal sitting there not wearing anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the Mandalorian,
that's what Mike said, Clark.
Yeah, I thought you were saying it pisses you off when he takes his helmet off.
Well, it does piss him off.
In the Mandalorian trailer, he has his helmet off, and it pissed me off.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that's why you love the Mandalorian.
No, that's what he's saying. The reason why he doesn't love Mandalorian.
Like in the trailer, it's like his helmet's off, and I'm like, okay, we get it. It's Pedro Pascal, dude. But
I feel like that's a Disney marketing thing where they're like, we cannot have Pedro Pascal as the star of this movie and not show his beautiful face at some point.
There you go. It's a movie. To get Judge Dredd made, they had to come up with financing. Probably, I would say at the time, probably $100 million budget. Had to have been.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And I could just see the producer who hasn't got a rat's idea what Judge Dredd is. Like, we're going to hire Sylvester Stallone and you can't see his damn face.
Well, Stallone would have never have done it because Stallone has too much of an ego.
Well, look at him. Look at this picture. You can see it, right? He looks great in the costume.
Yeah.
That's probably AI.
Oh, God. Clark, where did you get this AI image of Sylvester Stallone?
I think Stallone's about a 6, just because Carl Urban kind of set the bar for how to do the frown in that helmet.
Yes,
and hard to go back after that. But I did enjoy Judge Dredd.
Yeah, it's just fun popcorn, 90s crazy. Okay, there you go. Number 4.
Number 3 for Clark.
All right, number 3. We were talking about this one a little bit before the show, and you guys were calling foul on this choice. But
oh, Lord.
My number 3 is the soundtrack for Stanley Kubrick's 2001 Space Odyssey.
Yeah, I did call foul. Never mind.
Okay.
We were just trying to figure out what the song was.
Yeah.
So the reason I picked this is because all of the music in this movie, it's not original music. It's pre-existing music that Stanley Kubrick found and put in the movie. The story behind 2001, he hired a composer, very talented composer, Oscar-winning composer named Alex North, who had scored Spartacus for Stanley Kubrick and written a lot of other film scores. He hired him to write a score for 2001. And while Alex North was writing the score, Stanley Kubrick had what they call temp music, temporary music that you use until you can put the actual music in the movie while you're doing rough cuts and stuff. And he had all of this classical music. He had the Richard Strauss piece at the beginning. He had the Blue Danube Waltz, during the docking sequence and all this stuff. And he fell in love with the way that classical music sounded in the movie. And he listened to the Alex North score. And he's like, I'm sorry, Alex. He's like, but I can't use any of this. He's like, I've got some of the greatest classical compositions of all time already, and they work so well. And I'm sorry, nothing you could write, even if you go back and start over again, nothing you could write will match the music that I've already been using for this movie. So I'm just going to use that. And he did. And it's hard to argue with him based on the end results. That opening and closing piece, the Also Sprach Zarathustra piece is incredible. The Blue Danube Waltz is amazing. He uses a couple of pieces of music by a more modern classical composer named Grigory Ligeti and some of the creepier sequences, like with the monolith and the psychedelic stuff towards the end that have this very dissonant atonal sound. And like Mean Streets, kind of kickstarted a bunch of rock songs being used in movies. 2001: A Space Odyssey was very influential on other movies drawing on classical music and using, powerful classical pieces to enhance the drama of certain scenes. Die Hard's a movie that did that quite effectively.
Oh, to joy.
A bit later, yeah. So because this is essentially the same thing, where instead of writing an original score for a movie, you're picking pieces from your record collection essentially and finding the ones that most enhance your movie. I think 2001: A Space Odyssey qualifies.
Did he have to get any of the rights to any of this stuff?
No. Well, he did for the Ligeti stuff, which is the most modern and recent stuff. But for the older classical music, that was all, public domain.
Yeah.
Now they did new performances of it, and he had to pay for the orchestra to do, new performances and all of this stuff.
Well, it definitely solidified I mean, when you hear it now, it's a sci-fi tune, right?
Yeah.
So he pretty much changed at least for me, the idea of what the music is now. My God, that's 2001: A Space Odyssey. Dun, dun, dun.
They play that at the beginning and the end, like Clark was saying, and it's just like that's 2001. When I think of 2001, I think of that music.
Right.
Yeah.
So the composer's long dead.
He is, yes.
So
was. Hold on, let me pull that up real quick here. That was Richard Strauss, who did that piece, and I'm trying to remember. There's like a mythological narrative that piece was originally supposed to convey, and I'm sure it did it well at the time. But as you say, now you hear that
known
piece
for
of
his
music.
damn space movie.
Yeah, it's the space movie. But there were a couple of composers who were still alive, when their pieces were used, and then they were actually pretty happy. Grigory Ligeti saw the movie, and he's like, "Man, my music sounds incredible here. This is very effective. This is great." Even if he wrote his music with something else in mind.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Ric Flair uses that as his walk-up music in wrestling. Didn't he?
Is it him or is it Macho Man?
I think it was Flair.
I think it is Flair. I think you're right.
And I know they use it at football games and stuff. Where my dad played football, the University of South Carolina, they use it at the beginning of every football game when the team's coming out.
So now Strauss is in his grave thinking, now some damn wrestlers got to my music.
Wait till he hears the disco version that was popular in the 70s.
Oh,
because remember that was a big disco hit, the theme from 2001.
God, they did the Star Wars like that too. It was horrible.
Now when you go to football games, you hear "Welcome to the Jungle" as well. I swear to God, you hear "Welcome to the Jungle" like 15 times, like every kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the jungle.
All right.
But to just one last thing to settle anyone's complaints with this choice, it does have a song with lyrics, and that's the incredible song "Daisy," performed by Hal 9000, which he does so effectively. It's a very powerful performance.
Does he sing that at the end?
He does as he's dying, as he's
before
powering down. He sings it.
Before the guy goes through the time warp or whatever it is he goes through.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna go to my number 3.
Yeah, man.
Or your number 3. Yeah, number 3.
We're gonna do the German 3. But even though this isn't a German soundtrack, this isn't Inglourious Bastards. But all right, my number 3 is a movie I actually watched today. So like Walt said, in the 90s, I was big. I was bigger into music in the late 80s, 90s. So they had this Cameron Crowe made a movie called Singles. And it was all about these singles in this apartment complex type area, but also about the grunge music scene, which in 1992, grunge was, kind of in its infancy. It had really just kind of started. And this album featured tons of songs that I loved. And one thing that it did do is it introduced me to Paul Westerberg, who I had never heard of at the time. And now, I know him for The Replacements. But I also know that on the single soundtrack, he had maybe the 2 best songs. He had Dyslexic Heart and Waiting for Somebody. And
who was that?
His name's Paul Westerberg. He was the lead singer of The Replacements.
Nice.
So he and throughout this movie, Waiting for Somebody is kind of played instrumentally a good many times throughout the movie. It's kind of the big song in the movie. But you also had a ton of grunge groups, and like a group called Alice in Chains had a song called Wood on here, which is one of their bigger songs, and it was made for this album. They also threw in one, was it 1 or 2? Yeah, at least one. They threw in a Jimi Hendrix song. They May This Be Love, which they also, I know in the music they play Waterfalls, which it might be May This Be Love. That might be the same song, and I'm just getting the title wrong. But I know during the movie they play Waterfalls. With this waterfall. You had Pearl Jam did a new song for this, State of Love and Trust.
Is it good?
Which is a great song.
Oh
man, it's a great song.
I need to take note of this.
You had the Screaming Trees with their biggest hit, Nearly Lost You, on there, which might be their only hit. It might have been their one hit. Soundgarden had Birth Ritual on here. Chris Cornell did Seasons, which is a great song.
Mm-hmm.
Smashing Pumpkins had Drown on here. I mean, this album threw together a bunch of the big 90s grunge bands on there. And even during the movie, you have like Alice in Chains. They play a concert, and the main characters are there at the concert. Eddie Vedder, Stone Gossett, they play members of Matt Dillon's band in the movie. Chris Cornell shows up as just like a friend, and that's one thing that Cameron Crowe's really good at. He's good at putting these artists in his movies, but also he had his finger on the pulse of music in this and in Almost Famous. He knows his music, and obviously he grew up following, I'm guessing, Led Zeppelin. That's who Almost Famous, the band's supposed to be. But you have all that. There's a Led Zeppelin song in the movie. Now, I put down the songs on here. I don't see Led Zeppelin on the soundtrack, but there is a Led Zeppelin song in the movie.
Well, that's something that does happen with a lot of soundtracks, is sometimes you'll get the soundtrack and it's got all these songs, and you're looking through it and you're like, wait, this was in the movie. Where is it? And it's usually that they couldn't get the rights to clear it for the soundtrack album or something like that. But.
And somebody like a Led Zeppelin or somebody like that is probably going to be pretty expensive, especially back then when Led Zeppelin was huge in the 90s.
Yeah.
People were finding them. You had kids finding them for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this soundtrack is from 92, which I would have been 16. And it was when I was listening to music in, my big time music days. I was 16. I just started driving. I probably had a cassette player in my car. I was playing this cassette all the time. But again, found Paul Westerberg. That was probably the greatest part of this soundtrack, just because, hey, these two songs are incredible. And B, going back and being able to listen to the replacements.
I'll listen to this one tonight. This is great. Where did you go buy cassette set back in the 90s?
Turtles Music. It was over there. If you're from Griffin, it would be over there where Big Lots is. Yeah. Where that theater was. Like, it was in that same little strip.
And Tilt was there too.
Yep. But yeah, you'd go to Turtles
Music. It then became Warehouse Music, and I bought a lot of CDs there.
Yep.
But I guess you were cassettes and I was CDs, huh?
Well, I'm kind of ashamed to say this. I remember going to Turtles doing cassettes. Then I finally got a CD player. My first CD was Vanilla Ice.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
It wasn't Turtles 2. It was the Ice Baby, whatever that soundtrack movie was. Or,
now, was Warehouse Music, was that the place where, when I lived there, where the guy had his dog in the store all the time?
No, that's Guitar Heaven.
Guitar Heaven.
Warehouse Music might not have been there when.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a CD shop in Griffin where the guy, it was like a young, like 30-something guy, and he had his dog with him all the time. The dog would just walk around the store.
Where was the store that you're talking about?
It was over on the North Expressway.
That's got to be Warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah. You're talking about in that shopping center where Little Caesars was?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
that would be it.
It was
where Turtles was.
So it was Turtles, and it came Warehouse Music.
Yeah, I would buy used CDs.
I had a store called On Q where I was living, and I think it was owned by Books A Million, or somehow was involved with Media Play, or Media Play was a big one, by the way, guys. I don't know, y'all remember Media Play?
I remember Media Play.
I remember Media Play, but I didn't buy a lot of music there because it was usually expensive.
Well, my number one album, I bought it at Media Play. Actually, 1 and 2, I bought it at Media Play because they had obscure older stuff. I mean, dude, where do you go find soundtracks out in Thomaston, Georgia? It didn't exist. Okay, it was Purple Rain. It was Purple Rain 100 times.
Yeah, Turtles had Purple Rain for sure.
Yeah. God,
I would go to Barnes and Noble to get soundtracks, and the greatest moment as a teenager was when Barnes and Noble put in those machines in their store where you could take any CD and you could scan it under the machine and put on the headphones and listen to 30-second samples of every track on the album. Yes. And I was like, man, this is incredible. I would spend hours in there just trying to figure out what to buy, listening to stuff.
Yeah, buying, the kids today, the Zennials, your Generals, or whatever they're called, they'll never understand walking into a music store, finding a new CD to buy.
Yeah.
True.
And putting it in your CD player, Look, you're given so much now. Like, okay, I can get on this phone right now and pull up singles right now, and I will.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to what Mike has said. That's what's so great about this podcast. I'm going to listen to this tonight. The kids never will understand putting a CD into a car and having to listen to every track because you don't want to pull out you don't want to cycle CDs, over and over again. So you just would leave a CD in there for weeks. And you would learn every song you would listen to at least once. Now you would have your favorites. You'd go to track 6, track 4, whatever, But
and I think part of it's the investment, the actual literal investment you put into it. It's like, look, this is the gamble that I made for $12 on this CD being good.
Yeah.
So you really put a lot of thought into what you listen to because a lot of times you couldn't hear everything before you got the album.
And that's a great point, Clark. The movie that we're talking about is the vehicle getting the music out there.
Yeah.
The reason why we don't have interesting movies anymore, at least I think the reason, is physical media is gone and they don't sell soundtracks. I mean, that was another revenue string off for Judge Dredd. The movie might not do good in the box office, but the VHS did good, the DVD's going to do, and the soundtrack probably sold pretty good, Yeah. I would leave a movie and go to Media Play and buy the soundtrack.
Yeah.
If I really like something, and I can't think of anything specific, but I know it happened a lot. I think it was like The Matrix was like that. I think I left The Matrix and I immediately wanted that soundtrack,
Yeah, I think you left The Matrix Revolutions and went home and had some private time.
Wow.
Private time? What?
Hey, man, you like that movie so much.
What am I doing with Reload?
Zion.
Okay. Me and old Reloaded soundtrack just got in bed. I put some candles on. We got in the bathtub together. Just had a little time to myself with Reloaded.
I'm glad. Hey, you know what I want you to do now?
What?
Let's go with your number 3.
Okay. Oh, you're not giving me. Shit. Okay, hold on one second. I don't even remember. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, my number 3. So, like I was saying earlier, me and Claire was talking about this, and I was trying to come up with a list, and she said go with Top Gun, and I'm like, she's like, you got to have a Tom Cruise movie. You got to have a Tom Cruise movie, and then it hit me. I got a Tom Cruise movie. Where's it at? Did I not put it in here? Oh, my list. Where's my list at? Hold on one second.
Is it Cocktail?
We watched that today, by the way. We watched that today.
Man, Claire is really into Tom Cruise.
Oh, my gosh, dude. Did you send it to me, Mike? Hold on one second. Clark, you go with your next one.
Me already? All right.
Yeah, and then I'll be
You'll
tuned up
do a
ready.
double.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll move to my number 2, and I won't take too much time since we are running a little long. But my number 2 is from another filmmaking team that's great at picking music for their movies consistently. That's the Coen brothers.
Ooh,
and their movie, The Big Lebowski. This is such a great soundtrack, and it's such an eclectic soundtrack. It makes so many surprising choices. Like, you wouldn't look at this list of songs and think these really go together in any way, but they all work so well within the movie. You've got the Bob Dylan song, The Man in Me. It's used so well in that film. You've got a really interesting Spanish language cover of Hotel California by the Gypsy Kings. That's used for John Turturro's character, Jesus. Probably the standout for a lot of people, and for me as well. Incredible song by Kenny Rogers in the first edition. Just dropped in to see what condition my condition is in, which is used in this amazing dream sequence in the middle of the movie. Just an incredible piece of comic choreography. Great fusion of images and music in that scene. As with a lot of soundtracks, there are a couple of pieces missing. One that's in the movie and is used really well, but not on the soundtrack, is a really old song, Tumbling Tumbleweeds by Sons of the Pioneers. It's like an old 30s Western song, and it's used to kind of open and close the movie. And I wish they'd stuck that at the beginning of this, but I know it's not as as big a draw as Townes Van Zandt and Elvis Costello and Bob Dylan and all these other people. But it's a great soundtrack. And the Coens, again, you could pick 5 or 6 of their movies, and any one of them would be a valid choice for this list because they're so good at assembling songs for their movies. I know their movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou," one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time.
I'm surprised somebody didn't have that on the list.
It's a great soundtrack. I came close to it.
I figured somebody was going to have it.
Yeah, but Big Lebowski is the one that's closest to my heart. I just love this soundtrack and love the movie too. One of my favorite comfort watches. I
have two things. A, I'm going to watch this movie tonight because I've been wanting to watch Big Lebowski and again, and I'm going to do it. Number 2, which Eagles song is on this?
It's Hotel California, but
that's right. You said
it's the Spanish language version. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
There is. I'm trying to remember which Eagles song is playing in the cab though. When if it's that same one or if it's a different one. Now I'm trying to remember because there's the famous scene in The Big Lebowski where he says he hates the Eagles and he gets thrown out of the cab.
So it's funny you bring this up. Me and Claire was recently watching this probably in the last 2 weeks, and that Spanish version of Hotel California came on, and I told Claire, I said, this is the most overplayed song in the United States.
It definitely gets a lot of airplay, and I think part of the reason you really feel that is it's like 6 minutes long, and so
I can turn on the radio right now on Fun 101, and they're playing Hotel California right now.
Well, I'll tell you this: I love Hotel California. The most overplayed is "Yellow" by Coldplay.
Keep up.
Okay, Walls, did you have your number 3 ready? If we're speeding through a couple of these.
Yeah, I'm ready this time.
Big Lebowski might be the best movie so far too.
I will tell you.
2001. 2001's the best movie.
I really hate the dream.
Apples
sequence.
and oranges.
I really hate that dream sequence.
And Big Lebowski?
That dream sequence is amazing.
What do you hate about it though? I'm curious.
I just don't like anything about it. I think him going under the girls it's just too much. It's just too much.
It is a lot.
I don't know why I hate it so much, but I remember me and Claire fast forward through it. She agreed with me.
Wow.
I'm like, I'm gonna fast forward through this scene.
So you both suck.
What I love about that scene is it not only is it a crazy, incredibly choreographed dream sequence, but it's bringing together in kind of amusing ways little pieces of the movie. Like he's like in this dream, he's dressed up in the outfit that the character in the porn movie that he saw a little bit of it. He's wearing that outfit, which is so funny.
He's doing the little dance.
Yeah.
Well, and what and the female star of the movie's in there too. What
Julianne Moore, and she's wearing like a Valkyrie helmet.
She's a Valkyrie, that's right.
And has a bowling ball bra.
A bowling bra.
Yeah.
God almighty.
I don't know. That scene is just pure joy to me, but different strokes, I guess.
Mike, for whatever reason, the photo will not come up.
Okay, well, just leave the picture up of Clark because this AI generated thumbnail is a legend.
I agree with that statement, but it's just like, why will it not download the legend image? I'm flabbergasted right now. But my soundtrack is Legend. Guess where I bought it at, guys?
Turtles.
And
the Ritz Theater.
And come on, one more shot.
Where Media Play.
Binging. That's a bingo. Dude.
That's a bingo.
So Claire goes, you don't have a Tom Cruise movie. I said I do. It's my number 2, Legend. What did I say? Why did I pick these soundtracks? I listened to this soundtrack a million times. Love by the Sun by Tangerine Dream is absolutely beautiful. I played it for Claire. She's like, this is the most gorgeous song I ever played. David Gilmour does a song with Brian Ferry called Is Your Love Strong Enough? Is your love strong enough? And David Gilmour is, right?
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd, right? Funny story. I'm sitting at work. I have a deaf inspector. I loved him. May he rest in peace. He was a great guy. He called everybody Big Daddy. Hey, Big Daddy. He said, "Hey, Big Daddy." So he used to test airplane parts by tapping it. And I used to say, he's deaf. How does he? I guess he felt the vibration. I don't know. But I'm sitting there listening to the Legend soundtrack for the 4 millionth time, and he goes, "Hey, Big Daddy, is that David Gilmour on the guitar?" And I go, "I don't know. Let me Google it. Damn if it ain't David Gilmour on the guitar." My deaf coworker heard David Gilmour and knew it. But it is an incredible song. Is Your Love Strong Enough? It has also tracks from Tangerine Dream soundtrack in it. Score, like the scene where, have you seen Legend, Mike?
Yes, and Tangerine Dream did Manhunter.
He did. They did.
He didn't. Y'all don't listen to me. I'm lying.
He did. Wow. Dragon's like, what's Manhunter? Inside joke. Love to be a part of one day. So they did. There's this scene where the female co-star Mia Sara is getting seduced by darkness, which I wish I could pull up the freaking picture. He's basically the devil. She's getting seduced by him, and this gown starts dancing. Dun, 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 dun. And it's like seducing her, and it does this thing, informs with her, and she is in that gown, like as she's been seduced. Like she's turning to the dark side. And that piece of music is gorgeous. Directed by Ridley Scott, which in my 90s Steve Wall, 90s The Wall Man, was absolutely obsessed with anything Ridley Scott. Gladiator come out in 2000. You got Alien. You got Blade Runner. You got Legend. I hated Thelma and Louise. Let's don't go there. But just loved everything. Everything he did. But so this soundtrack, like I said, it's just got a special place in my heart. Does it hold up so good in time? I don't know. Well, we could discuss that later. But I will bring up something that Clark will appreciate. The original soundtrack was done by your favorite composer,
Jerry Goldsmith. I knew that. How dare you?
Ding! Right answer. Ned Ryerson. So yeah, Jared Goldsmith actually did I guess he did the original soundtrack for Ridley.
He did the original soundtrack, yes.
Go ahead, Clark.
Oh, I was just gonna say he did the original score. And they actually played the movie. They released the movie in the UK with the Jerry Goldsmith score.
Yep.
And the studio was getting a little nervous when they were about to bring the movie to America. They were like, this just isn't commercial enough. We need to do something to kind of sex it up a little bit, give it something trendier. They hired Tangerine Dream to write a new score to try and make the movie, feel a little more approachable to international audience.
And I could think about that era. Like, who was it? Vangelis did the dun, 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 Chariots of Fire, right?
Yeah, Chariots of Fire, Blade Runner.
Had that vibe to it, and I bet I could see that producer, that executive's like, hey, you know what we need right here? We need a little more of that. We need something like that. And then they got Tangerine Dream, who is Oingo Boingo, right?
No, Danny Elfman is Oingo Boingo.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Tangerine Dream they were already established for scoring movies. While they didn't score Manhunter, they did score some other Michael Mann movies. They scored Thief and The Keep for Michael Mann. So they had some experience.
You're in timeout for misleading our fans.
I will say the movie Legend, they're very, a lot of times when Clark and I are suggesting movies to each other, it's tough because both of us have seen a lot of movies. I remember Legend being one that Clark hadn't seen, and I brought over to his house and we watched. Legend.
Really? Well, which versions you watch? Because the DVD came with the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack and the Tangerine Dream.
We watched the director's cut with the Jerry Goldsmith soundtrack. And that is one thing that I love, though, about now it's got a beautiful Blu-ray release from Arrow. And I love that you can watch both versions. You can watch the theatrical cut with the Tangerine Dream score, and you can watch
on
the
one disc.
Cut. Yeah, and you can watch the director's cut, which has, more. To me, the director's cut is a better movie, not necessarily because of the score, though I love the score, but it's just got more material and stuff doesn't feel as rushed. But I love that you can watch both. And even though I love the Jerry Goldsmith score, Tangerine Dream did a wonderful job as well. So, I'm glad we have both versions available now.
I'm going to give you a funny story, Mike, that you might have never heard this.
Okay.
My ex-wife actually stole this CD from me.
What?
Yeah, before we got married. And I hate to like besmirch her name, but I couldn't find the CD. And me, I'm like, I had a Cougar at the time, blue Cougar with the rig, where you got the cassette, because I didn't have a CD player in this old Cougar. You got the CD player with the little rig in it, you get the thing. And I couldn't find the CD. And then I got in her car and I go, what the hell is this? She goes, what's that? I said, it's Legend soundtrack. There's no way you have this, because this is before Amazon, dude. Like, I found this at Media Play. She goes, I was like, did you steal my CD out of my car? Didn't get an answer. She stole my CD, dude.
Are you sure, though? Because, you could have just left it in her car.
No, because this was like when we first started dating. Okay, moving on.
All right. So what's next? My number 2?
Your number 2 is next, Mike.
Okay.
Oh, I thought I was supposed to do 2 in a row.
I mean, you can.
You can, and then Mike can do his number 2.
Okay, let me do my another one. Let me do another one.
Let me do another one. Yeah.
You just take a seat there for a second.
Yeah,
because I didn't get to pull my picture up. I don't know why.
You acted like that so it had something to do with me. I sent you the picture.
No, it's not your fault. For some reason, I don't know why it's doing it. Like, here's this one. This one pulls up.
Mm-hmm.
It's freaking pissing me off. Okay, Mike, you don't know what it is yet. I'm just gonna start doing something. Okay, here, you ready?
Okay.
That
is Mortal Kombat. That is actually
Kombat.
That's Dixieland laser tag.
There you go, Dixieland laser tag. Yeah. Mortal Kombat. This soundtrack is it could have been number 1, but you know what? Y'all will know what when you hear my number 1, why it's my number 1. This soundtrack is great. It's got this tune by Orbital called Halcyon. Clark, you ever heard this track, Halcyon by Orbital?
I don't think so. I've seen Mortal Kombat, but not since then.
I Googled Orbital. I think it's a dude with a laptop. I don't think it's a band. And it's just this peaceful, like, music. It's played in the movie with the scene where Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, and Raiden are going, and it's like Shao Kahn shows up. You know what I mean? It's the end of the movie. It's like, I've come for your soul. And Raiden's like, I don't think so. And then they're like, ah! The movie ends. And then the horrible sequel starts. But that's okay. Yeah. So it had this incredible song. I've listened to it with the earphones on at night in the bathtub with the candles by myself and listen to that track hours upon hours upon hours. Obviously, what's the big track that we've heard our entire life? It's in every sporting event. It was basketball. It was cheer. It was everything. The Mortal Kombat theme. The fact that I'm doing a soundtrack based off a video game is incredible to me, because the movie's really good. It's got some good performances by Johnny Cage. Me and Mike are going to get to meet Johnny Cage, right? He's going to be at this con.
The gentleman that played him in the movie is supposed to be at Fanboy Expo.
Cannot wait to meet him. Cannot wait to meet him. He's the best part of the movie to me. He fights Scorpion. Scorpion was my favorite character in the game. And there's actually some really good tracks on it. But you really need to hear them. They're just hard rock from like Tracy Lords has a song, and Type O Negative. It's Sister Machine Gun. Mike, you've heard of them, Sister Machine Gun.
I've heard of Tracy Lords, but not for singing.
How about Mother's? Well, she's got a track. Was she a porn star?
Yeah. She was.
Yeah.
Well, her very popular porn thing is the fact that she was doing porn before she was legal to do porn.
Ah.
Yeah. But then she's done some John Waters movies. She did Crybaby and
she's popped up in a bunch
Blade.
of movies.
She's in Blade.
Yeah.
Well, So Mortal Kombat's done by the band called The Immortals, which I don't know if they did anything else, but they're in time. They're solidified in time for me as one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Y'all have any comments?
One of the greatest fighting games of all time.
Yeah, I agree. Still going to this day. It's actually, I mean, you see the new Carl Urban movie.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
It looks fun.
I like the last Mortal Kombat. I thought it was okay.
So Mortal Kombat was directed by Paul Anderson, Paul J. Anderson.
The second Paul Anderson we've had on this show tonight. Paul W.S. Anderson, yeah.
Who went on to do, he's got some great stuff. Event Horizon is a classic to me. Obviously he got hamstringed into he did Soldier, which me and Mike's brought up on this. That is I don't know if you know this, Clark, you might have missed this in one of our episodes. Soldier is supposedly in the Blade Runner universe.
Really? I didn't know that.
Because they mentioned Tannhauser Gate and Soldier fights in the battles mentioned in Blade Runner.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I know Soldier's getting a new 4K release this year, so I might have to revisit it.
It's Kurt Russell's, obviously. As far as this channel goes, we are Kurt Russell fanboys. So he did that. He also did
Resident Evil.
He kind of got stuck into that franchise, and as much as I do like the first one, the sequel's not so good. But you know, Mortal Kombat was a moment in time that the movie's not supposed to be as good as it really is. I mean, it's a video game movie at a time where video game movies were absolutely horrible. And did the soundtrack help that? Absolutely. This CD, everybody owned. I would venture that they owned it more than Purple Rain. I'm just saying. Wouldn't you agree, Mike?
Not like Rocky.
I like Rocky. Okay.
I know. I love that Mortal Kombat music. Again, that will always, if I hear that, take me back to playing laser tag. Like I will always think of laser tag.
Mike mentioned that the other day, and there was a couple of tracks. Breathe from.
Is that on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack?
No, it should be
with me.
Yeah, it should be. No, but it's on the laser tag soundtrack.
Oh,
you know that. Empire Strikes Back will get played. You know, so yeah. Great chick, great flick, great soundtrack. Okay, who's next?
I'm going to go to my number two. My number two. And my number two comes from a sequel soundtrack. It comes from Young Guns 2. And this is pretty much a John Bon Jovi soundtrack. I mean, this is the first time that John Bon Jovi had broken apart from Bon Jovi and did an album by himself. With this album, it did reach number one on Billboard soundtrack. One of the biggest song from the album, Blaze of Glory, which where I work, they still play it over the speakers.
How's that? That goes, Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory. Yeah. Take me now.
Blaze of Glory.
So I was a huge Bon Jovi fan and still am. Still a Bon Jovi. Now, some of their newer albums I haven't been a big fan of, but this album was incredible. The Blaze of Glory, he's got the second single from that was Miracle, which is a great song. But I mean, he does a good, a good 10 or 11 songs on here, all written for this movie. This is all John Bon Jovi originals for this.
Now, Mike, I see Blaze of Glory up at the top on this album cover. Is that the name of this album, or are they just
it's
promoting
Young
that
Guns
song?
It says songs written.
This is inspired by the film Young Guns too, but it's interesting to see like a single song, given that kind of treatment on an album cover.
Back then, it was probably it's the Young Guns 2 soundtrack, but also at the same time, he's trying to promote it as his solo album.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Young Guns 2 soundtrack.
Okay.
But yeah, it's 10 songs on there. Great video. Late 1980s. I was big into hair metal, and this is probably early 90s. But great soundtrack. I still remember, and to show you how big Bon Jovi is. I remember being in 10th grade and the Keep Your Faith album came out, and I had the cassette at school, and I was getting made fun of by this guy because he's like, "You still listen to Bon Jovi?" And that was like 35 years ago. And people still listen to Bon Jovi now. So F you wherever you are, dude.
It was me.
I hope he's listening. Oh, he is listening.
People still love Bon Jovi.
He's the guy that unsubscribed today, that bastard.
Well, I hope he's on here so he can unsubscribe now. But yeah, that he made fun. He's like, "You still listen to Bon Jovi?" And I'm like, "This album's good. Let's keep the faith." But I think at that time, I think when that came out, like rap was starting to get bigger, and so more people were listening to that. But I've always been a rock metal guy, so yeah. John Bon Jovi, Young Guns too. The movie's good too. Not quite as good as the first one, but I got to meet Kiefer Sutherland recently and Lou Diamond Phillips
before he went to jail.
Is he in jail?
Kiefer Sutherland went to jail?
Yeah, didn't he get arrested recently?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I have to look this up.
Let me disperse the man's name.
Yeah.
Here's Wallace with another non-fact.
I thought he attacked somebody.
Oh.
Wait.
Yeah. I remember this story. Okay, this was back in January. Yeah, I don't. He was arrested. He told.
Okay, I want an apology. I want an apology for Mike.
Is he in jail? You said he's in jail.
Well, he was arrested.
So
I don't think he's currently in jail. But he threatened an Uber driver who refused to pull over, and Kiefer Sutherland told the Uber driver, "Pull over, or I'll kill you."
Like him, Young Guns too.
Yeah. I was like, I know that he can't be in jail because I've seen things on Facebook where he's coming to Atlanta on tour with his band.
Okay, dude. He went to jail. He just got out on bond. He hadn't gone to trial yet, though.
Okay.
But it happened, and you should know this. When if you had asked me about Sylvester Stallone, I would have told you what he was doing last week.
What is he? What was he doing last week?
He's making Tulsa King 3.
No,
and Jordan Griffin.
Tulsa King 3 is already coming out.
Oh yeah, nice.
They're filming it right now, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2. And yeah, so we're going to Clark's number 1.
Wow.
All right.
We might get under 2 hours on this one. We're at an hour 36.
Already at 2 hours.
Okay.
Since we started. My number 1, a filmmaker who's already come up on the show tonight on Mike's list, Quentin Tarantino. And, great soundtracks across the board, across his filmography. My personal favorite is the soundtrack for Jackie Brown, which is the movie he made right after Pulp Fiction. One thing I love about this soundtrack, not only are the songs great, but he uses the songs in this movie almost like a musical score. You know how a score, will have different themes, and you hear those themes again at appropriate moments, for certain characters or for certain types of scenes. In this movie, a lot of the songs he uses 2 or 3 times throughout the movie, and he brings them back in really interesting ways. He opens and closes the movie with an incredible Bobby Womack song, Across 110th Street, written for a blaxploitation movie of the same name from the 1970s.
Yeah. That's a great song.
Yeah, an incredible song that opens this movie. He uses a song by the Delphonics, Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time? Robert Forster picks up a cassette tape because Pam Grier's character tells him that she really likes the Delphonics and he wants to listen to the Delphonics. So he goes and gets a cassette tape. He listens to it in his car, and that song keeps coming back throughout the movies, and it's used kind of near the climax of the movie in a pretty dramatic and suspenseful way. You've got, let's see. And like the Pulp Fiction soundtrack, he also puts in bits and pieces of dialogue on the album between the songs. You got the Brothers Johnson with Strawberry Letter 23. Great song. You got Johnny Cash on there with Tennessee Stud. But yeah, so many great songs. And then there's one really cool thing that happens in this movie. There's an instrumental. It's called The Lions and the Cucumber by the Vampire Sound Incorporated. And one thing that's kind of cool in Jackie Brown, and this has always fascinated me, there's a scene midway through the movie where Pam Grier's character, who is Jackie Brown, asks Robert Forster, who's this bail bondsman that she knows, she wants him to help her with a heist. And she's like, "Will you help me with this heist?" And he's like, "I need to think about it." So he walks around and he goes and he watches a movie. Comes out of the movie. This instrumental song is playing as he leaves the movie theater. And he tells her, he's like, "Okay, I'm going to do it." Now, at the end of Jackie Brown, what song plays over the end credits of Jackie Brown? It's that same instrumental song. And so I've always wondered, did he go in that movie theater and did he see Jackie Brown and come out of there and say, "Oh, well, I know how this is going to go. Yes, I'll help with your heist." It's just a fascinating choice that Tarantino makes with that choice. But yeah, incredible soundtrack. I love this movie. I love the way the music is used. So that would be my number one.
So was this was after Pulp Fiction or after Reservoir Dogs?
This was after
Fiction.
Pulp Fiction. It was his third movie.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But before Kill Bill, then.
Before Kill Bill, yeah, great cat. You got Jackie. You got Robert Forster and Pam Grier in the lead roles, which is fascinating because neither of them were very big stars at the time. They had been leads of movies back in the 70s, early 80s, but they were both considered kind of washed up. And Tarantino brought them back, much as he brought John Travolta back with Pulp Fiction. But the supporting cast is huge. You got Robert De Niro in there. You got Samuel L. Jackson. You got Michael Keaton. Bridget Fonda. So it's a great cast.
Second Bridget Fonda movie tonight.
Oh, there you go.
Singles and
Yeah.
Boy, Bridget Fonda. How old is she now?
Gotta be about my age.
In her 50s, I would guess.
50 to 52, 55, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah. She's married to Danny Elfman of Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo.
So it's coming full circle.
That's usually how it is with Side Frantic. We are definitely circles.
So, Walls, do you want to do your number one or you want me to do my number one?
That's up to you. I don't. What do you want to do?
All right. Well, I can do my number one, but
you want to end with my. Let me see. What was yours? Let's see if yours is better than mine. Let's see here. I remember what yours was. Yeah, let's let you end it off.
I can guarantee mine's better than yours, but
I like it. But yeah, we'll go with mine.
So, are you okay? You want me to go or are you going?
I was going to go with mine, so you can end it.
Okay.
So, everybody knows what the Wall Man loves. Transformers. Yeah.
Is there an Optimus Prime death song? Because Clark will go buy it right now.
Yes, there is.
I go to sleep to it every night.
It's called Death of Optimus Prime. And it is beautiful. It's okay. Transformers the movie.
Before you go into it, I'm sorry, and I hate to interrupt, but
okay.
So it just brings me, and this is kind of a little off topic, but do y'all remember when the Phantom Menace came out? Star Wars: The Phantom Menace?
Yeah. Had the funeral in there.
The soundtrack came out before the movie, and one of the songs is like Qui-Gon Jinn's funeral. Yeah. And I still remember how pissed people got about that.
How do you even, I get that Lucas is, you got to think he's busy as all get out. He's directed the movie. He's trying to get special effects done. He's greenlight the soundtracks. But how does somebody else not know?
How do you miss that? Come on.
How is it the person typing it into the whatever AI at the time was? What do they use now? Photoshop, right? They're typing in Qui-Gon's funeral. How does that guy not go, "Hey, should we have this name this?" Am I right?
Qui-Gon's death be mentioned before we put the movie out?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I remember me and Jay had the soundtrack. And
I love the solution that Danny Elfman has come up to for this sort of thing whenever he's naming like the last big track on a soundtrack. He has like 8 different soundtracks with a cue called The Final Confrontation at the end. So you don't know what happens. It's the final confrontation.
That's great. But unfortunately that still wouldn't work there because it wasn't a confrontation, because it's the funeral sequence.
Yeah, the final confrontation and Qui-Gon's funeral.
Yeah, what would Oingo Boingo call it? The final shot, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, the final confrontation in the Phantom Menace is Duel of the Fates, which is, boy, that's an incredible piece of music. That's a conversation for another day, but man, love that track.
Well, we're going to do soundtracks at some point. And that's going to be so hard. This one was hard. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But typically, if the Transformers can be there at the end somewhere, we're good. That takes me to my number 5.
To your number 1.
My number 1. Yep. Transformers, the soundtrack. Got this at Media Play. Absolutely couldn't believe when I saw it. You're probably right. I think it was $17.99, which is insane. And I pulled it out, single copy. Immediately showed Jay, look at this, dude. It's a freaking soundtrack. This soundtrack is so good. There's very few soundtracks that I can say every track is great. This is one of them. And Purple Rain is the other one.
Well, I'm about to name another one after this.
But I mean, just go through. So the score is done by, Clark knows, Vince DiCola, who really hadn't done much when this soundtrack was produced. I think he had done Rocky IV, which does have Eye of the Tiger in it, but was not the original Eye of the Tiger, soundtrack.
Great song.
But Vince DiCola did not do Eye of the Tiger. That was Survivor. But DiCola has this really electronic. That's the battle, the Autobot Decepticon battles in here. Then he's got like the escape when they're trying to escape. So Vince DiCola's got some awesome pieces of music. What it does not have is Unicron's theme, which absolutely pissed me off. But they retconned it a few years ago and released a Ultimate album that has Unicron's theme when, Unicron's attacking the planet. That being said, it's got The Death of Optimus Prime, which is a beautiful piece of music. But what it also has is incredible 80s songs, which if y'all had been at karaoke a couple weeks ago, I did every song from the album.
Every song, wow.
Well, what do you think I did? They had the Transformers, the theme, done by Lion, which is a awesome theme. Transformers, very 80s, They had Stan Bush's You Got to Touch, which we mentioned earlier, which is in what? Almost Famous. You Got to Touch.
Boogie Nights.
It's in Boogie Nights.
It's in Boogie Nights. This is why I rewatch these things. But You Got to Touch, it's just a great 80s power ballad. Then it's got Dare, which is in the sequence where I'll probably put it when I do clips. It's a sequence where Hot Rod is trying to get to the shuttle launch because Daniel wants to see it. And it is an incredible sequence of animation where they get to the shuttle and it's like, Hot Rod, look, there's a hole in the shuttle. And he's like, Decepticons. And he starts shooting at the Decepticons. And it's just a great song that goes. Me and Mike have seen this band called Cybertronic Spree, which all they do is this entire soundtrack and other 80s poppy songs like Ghostbusters and, I don't know, Mike, help me out. Some other songs.
They did like Pokemon, right?
Pokemon, Zelda, stuff like that. But they sing every song from this album. Like Spectre General does a song called, I can't think of the name, but it's where the Autobots basically all get killed in the first 5 minutes of the meeting. And it's this hard rock, like,
Is that the Instruments of Destruction?
Isn't it? Yeah. Instruments of destruction, tools of foul play. Oh, great song. And then they got a few other songs in there that I can't think of the name, but it's an awesome album. This movie, Clark, has gotten such a renaissance in the last 5 years. This is the 40th anniversary of this movie, by the way. I don't know if y'all knew that. And Hasbro has done I was telling Claire this, or Halo's 25th anniversary was this year. Zelda's 40th anniversary is this year. Nothing's happening. These companies, I don't get it. It's like they don't like their past. I get why Microsoft's run by people who probably don't like the Marines and Master Chief, but Hasbro is gone all in on this. They even have an apology tour throughout the nation apologizing for killing Optimus Prime, which is hilarious. But we got a big unboxing coming up later. The Matrix
of Leadership
is coming out from the movie. We had to special order it. Me and Mike were sitting there. I sent it to him. I'm like, dude, we got to get this. It's going to sit on my mantle. Mike will keep it in the box because he's going to try to resell it. He's one of those. But that being said, this is my number one. Honestly, it was my number one animated movie. I think I mentioned it last week for some reason. What was our episode last week?
Top 10 sci-fi movies.
Was it sci-fi movie? Top
The
10 sci-
lot.
Unless y'all recorded one.
No, we did the sports one.
fictional sports scene.
Oh, the sports scene.
Transformers was not in that episode. But the point I'm trying to make is I love this movie. I love this soundtrack. We have it in vinyl now. Claire bought it on vinyl. So if y'all want to hear this soundtrack in vinyl, phenomenal soundtrack, man.
This is the one I'm gonna go re-listen to this soundtrack later on, like you're gonna do the single soundtrack, because I'm not as intimately familiar with this movie as you guys are, and
you get a Weird Al song
too. It makes me want to go listen to it.
Okay,
so you get a Weird Al song too. Dare to be stupid,
which is a Weird Al original.
Dare to be stupid.
Yeah.
Dare to be stupid.
Okay, so that was so there was You Got to Touch, Transformers the theme, and Dare to be Stupid was the karaoke I did the other night. Nice. I nailed You Got to Touch.
Dare to be Stupid, it's a tough one to do too.
Standing ovation for You Got to Touch. Transformers from the movie, I'd give myself B tier. Dare to be Stupid, I quit within the first minute of the song. I was like,
tough one.
I can't do this no more. It's like
it's real fast. Mr. Whipple squeezes the shaman.
With Mr. Goodbar. It's all puns, by the way, right? Clark, I don't know if you heard it. It's like
I know the
you
song.
have to Google them because it's like Don't Squeeze the Charmin is in there. Stuff that they probably don't like. Mr. Goodbar. After singing the other day, I told Claire, I said, do they even still make Mr. Goodbars?
Yeah,
I haven't seen one in a while.
So
maybe,
I went and found one. We found one at a gas station, and it was just as bad as I remember. It's got peanuts in it.
I was going to say it's just chocolate and peanuts.
It's like a bad Hershey bar with peanuts.
So the funny thing is the Dare to be Stupid song is basically what Jay and Bill do, right? Like except for at a slower speed.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying here.
Just naming a bunch of stuff like that and then putting up a picture on the video. It's like he'd say,
Are you trying
Mr.
to say
Whipple
they're being
the
lazy
Charmin,
like
he put
AI?
up a picture of Charmin.
They'd be lazy like AI.
That's what I'm saying. He'd be like, Mr. Whipple squeezing the Charmin, and then a picture of Charmin comes up, and then a picture of a good bar comes up.
I want to leave that one alone. Clark, you got any comments?
Bill ain't listening. Who cares? No.
Yeah, you're right.
I endorse any and all music that is written by real human beings, and thus I endorse Bill and Jay.
Well, did he buy your book and read it?
That is a good question.
You know what?
He
Clark,
did get the book. I think he did get the book.
You know what, Clark? He did. Bill did buy the book. Clark, do you want to send me some money and I'll buy his CDs and send them to you?
I'll get back to you on that.
I'm not paying for those CDs again. I bought one time and it got stolen.
I got some home repairs coming up. So
hey, Dragon, you know Dragon's going to tell him tomorrow that we were talking about him.
Bill's got a big discography now. It would be like what, $300 to get them all at this
every
point.
Day.
I will say Dragon Blade would not do that because he's a stand-up guy.
He is a stand-up guy and our number one fan.
All right, I'm gonna go to my number one so that we don't maybe not crack 2 hours here.
We're at 152.
So first off, I want to name some songs that did not make any of our list.
Honorable mentions.
These are honorable. It's not for the album. It's just songs that I enjoy off some albums. Number one, Written for the Warriors, In the City with Joe Walsh.
Great song.
Great song. I'm going to go St. Elmo's Fire by John Parr for St. Elmo's Fire. Love that song. This is a song I freaking love, and I don't care who knows. It's Arthur's Theme, Best That You Can Do.
Great.
By
Great.
Christopher Cross.
Christopher Cross. Great.
From the movie Arthur. The best
Great
that
song.
you can do.
The best
is
that you
fall in
can
love.
do is fall
That's a
in
fun movie,
love.
too.
That is a fun movie, and that is an incredible
Christopher
song.
Cross is great, dude. He's so underrated.
So underrated.
Sailing, dun, 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 dun,
And just because I hate it, Clark and I could have seen him in concert last year, but
Christopher Cross?
No.
Oh.
We had to leave. We had to leave Tennessee because we were at a convention, but we both had like 4-hour drives, so we had to go. G. Tom Mack with "Cry Little Sister" from Lost Boys.
Oh my
Another
God!
great
Yes.
song. So, and of course, I have on here, but you had mentioned it earlier.
What about Sax Man? You didn't got Sax Man on there?
Well, I doubt Sax Man has a song on his soundtrack.
What are you talking about? He's on the freaking Lost Boys soundtrack.
He might be. Who knows? I don't know. I just
know not very, like as iconic as he is. It's not a very big scene that he's.
Dude,
he's
it's a great song. I can't remember how the song goes, but it's a great song.
The Cry Little Sister song is the song from Lost Boys. So like, it's the better song,
dude.
And he was at that convention.
That's what I'm saying. He did a concert that Sunday afternoon, but we couldn't go to it because we both had long drives home.
Yeah,
so.
I wonder how. I know the song really well, but I don't know much of the rest of his music. I wonder how his
I would have liked to
is.
Sat and listened to some of it because Cry Little Sister's a great song and all that. I hate that we missed it, but I wasn't going to wait until nightfall and drive home in 4 hours.
So his concert was at the con, like it was part of the con, kind of like Cybertronic Spree is. When we go
exactly.
Or like a Rat Pack show, sort of at the end of a Vegas.
Dude, when they do stuff like that, it is always cool. I love it when a con has like a live act like that.
Yeah, but I do agree. When they do them, they should do them on like the first or second night, like not at the tail end when everybody's wiped out.
Yeah. It was. I don't know why Sunday night. Why they should have done it Saturday night.
You're right. Exactly. Clark makes a great point. Yeah, it needs to be on Saturday night. Yep. Okay.
All right. We're gonna go to my number one. I just wanted to name a few songs that I love from other movies.
My Heart Will Go On.
It's a shame we didn't put. You can go so many.
That's my ringtone for Clark when he calls.
How many great songs are in The Wizard of Oz? Or Disney movies. My God,
but those are musicals, and we could do a musical show, but it's
maybe we need to do a musical show because you got to really get like The Wizard of Oz in there and some of these Disney flicks.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
It's all right. So I'm gonna go with my number one.
What a great album cover.
Walls knows. Well, I guess now Clark knows what it is.
yeah.
But I was going to sing one, but now I don't have to. Thanks, Walls.
Turn it up to 11, baby.
Number one, this is Spinal Tap. This is one of my all-time favorite comedies. Like, I love this. This is what started the mockumentaries. Ricky Gervais even says in the special features on this that he stole the idea from the United States and then brought it to England and then sold it back to the United States
with The Office.
With The Office. And this started the mockumentaries. Christopher Guest went on to do a bunch of mockumentaries after this. This is directed by Rob Reiner, who rest in peace.
May he rest in peace.
But as he is Martin DeBurgi. But this whole album is all Spinal Tap songs. Actually, I take that back. Not all Spinal Tap songs, because you do have Listen to the Flower People, which was one of the earlier bands. I can't think of the name of the band. And Give Me Some Money, which is from the earlier band as well. But most of these songs I'd say all of these songs are played in the movie. You have Stonehenge, which is, to me, it's still one of the greatest songs ever in a movie.
Yeah.
And one of the funniest scenes ever in Spinal Tap and in Spinal Tap 2. It was funny in both of them. Waltz, I don't know if you've seen this as Spinal Tap, the first.
I've seen the first one. I have not seen the second one.
The sequel, the Stonehenge is too big. In the first one, it's too small.
It's too small. Yeah.
The second one is too big, and it falls on Elton John, and he goes, "Fuck Spinal Tap." It is hilarious. But man, it sounds like Cups and Cakes, which again in Spinal Tap 2 they talk about. Paul McCartney says it's his favorite song by Spinal Tap. Cups and Cakes. Heavy Duty. The Heavy Duty.
Can we talk about the album cover for a minute? I'm just looking at a black square.
So that's a great part of the movie too. Like it's supposed to have like, I think the original is supposed to have like a glove and like a woman sniffing it.
Yeah, that's the name of the album, right? Like smell the glove or sniff the glove.
Yeah. So the production company or whatever, they're like, no, we're not going to do that. So when they send them the records, they pull it out and they're like, it's just a blackout. It's like, It's incredible.
Well, so this would be Bill's favorite movie, right? When you say, because he talks about this movie my entire young life, hanging out at the comic book store, right? You and him were like in cahoots when it comes to loving Spinal Tap.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he introduced me to it. Like a lot of stuff that I like was
British Office
through Bungees.
Office.
No, I watched the British Office.
Bullshit.
Before Bill. I watched the British Office. I went and bought the DVD at Best Buy, so I know it was me. And I did the same.
You
with,
definitely showed me the
crowd.
American audience, the American Office. I remember you watching that. They were with you. So.
The IT crowd as well. I showed that to all of you.
100%. And I love it.
I remember you came over and we watched the whole series.
How does this theme go? I don't know. Something like that.
But this is Spinal Tap. To me, incredible movie. And all around this band that has fallen off. There's even a part in the movie where they're playing their song on the radio, and then it's like, this is from the "Where Are They Now" section, and the whole point of it is that this band is no one knows who they are anymore. One of the funnier lines in the movie is they make an album called Shark Sandwich, and Marty DeBurgy's like, some call it shit sandwich, and you can tell they even want to laugh right there. Like, it's like what?
Nice. Michael McKean's in it, right?
Michael McKean is David St. Hubbins.
Who does the scene where you turn it up to 12 or 11?
You have Nigel Tufnell, who is played by Christopher Guest.
Gotcha.
And Harry Shearer, who plays
Derek Smalls.
Yeah.
Who is the one who can't get in and out of like this tube in part of the movie.
Great choice.
But it's 11 songs on the album, which is kind of funny because it goes to 11.
Mm-hmm. Great song. Great choice.
All great songs, like in all original from these guys. Like the actors actually play the instruments, they actually sing the songs.
And that's been the most incredible thing to me about this movie, is that finding people who are equally talented as, improv comedians and as musicians who can pull this off. Like, really the only three guys who could have done this. It's amazing.
That's fair.
That because these songs, they're funny songs in the context of the movie, but they're also legitimately good songs. Which is crazy.
Yeah, most of these are made comedic during the movie. Like Stonehenge, they have the small Stonehenge. They have the part where he can't get in and out of this like tube type thing. There's a part where they're like people are they're at the Air Force base and they're playing like the Air Force is like, oh, this is our go-to while they're trying to play music.
Let me see if this is streaming. I need to watch this tonight.
This is Spinal Tap. I recommend it. At first, when I first saw Spinal Tap 2, I didn't think it was great. I rewatched it and I liked it a lot more on rewatch.
Nice. I need to rewatch that one.
Okay,
too.
everybody listening, it's on HBO Max if you want to watch it. We just lost Clark.
We lost Walls? Or we lost somebody?
Hold on.
So you still there?
Everybody's still here. We're good.
Okay, you disappeared for just a second.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you just said didn't come through, Wallace.
Oh, I said that it's on HBO Max if somebody wants to watch it. This is Spinal Tap is a great movie that needs to be watched. I've only seen it like twice, but I remember really loving it.
And if you go all the way to owning it on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whichever format, one fun way to watch it is the cast does a commentary in character.
Yes.
And it's so much fun.
Great point.
True.
This is a movie, like I said, if y'all are watching, you need to watch it. It's on HBO if you want to stream it, or like Clark said, get the physical copy. But great choices.
That's it.
Hey, we're right. We're 2 hours, 2 minutes. What do y'all want? We good? We'll wind it down, I guess.
I tell you what, I will. Was it nearly 9 o'clock now? I'm gonna go watch Big Lebowski tonight. I've been itching to rewatch it anyway.
Nice. And listen to that in singles.
I'm gonna go listen to the Transformer soundtrack.
Watch it, Clark. Just watch the movie.
Look, Mike gave me a copy of the movie, and I still need to watch it since I've seen it before, but I need to watch the copy he gave me.
Yeah, just every song on the soundtrack's in the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. They're in the movie somewhere. That's what's great.
Question: do you think Transformers is good for his kids? I think he'd be okay. Except for Optimus dying is kind of sad, but
They're robots. It's not.
I watched it when I was
blood.
10.
There's no blood. There's no sex. It's perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
God, it was made for 4-year-olds in the United States in the 80s.
Well, Spike in this version, he does say shit in it.
Yeah, they had, which is so stupid. They had to put that curse word in there because they didn't want a G rating. I don't know why. Or there was something that maybe G didn't exist then, and it would have got a rating that like worse than PG or something. That's why they had to put one curse word in it, something like that.
But yeah, I think it's rated PG, right?
Yeah,
because he
that's
says,
the only curse word. Yeah.
He says shit, which was not in a lot of the VHS copies, and I think he says, "Damn it, open! Damn it!" when Ultra Magnus is trying to open the Autobot Matrix, which he can't because he's not the chosen one. But,
I may have to. The kids are on spring break this week, so it may be a good excuse to up in Transformers.
They'll be really amused and entertained. It's a great flick.
And when they're crying, when Optimus dies, don't point and laugh.
Look, this is Mike and Wall's fault. They told me to do this.
Do you know what doesn't have a good soundtrack? Wall-E.
Wall-E has a great soundtrack. You had Thomas Newman, beautiful score, great Peter Gabriel song at the end. Great soundtrack. I'll go to bat for Wall-E.
Well, fellas,
he's not one of Clark's favorite robots.
The music's coming up. You know what that means? Another 2 hours.
Thanks for having me, y'all. I had a great time.
This was a fun one. I really enjoyed this one.
I like it too. I think it's different. It's got a really eclectic answer to Clark. Sound was good. Green lights on. You might have got a little choppy, Clark.
Okay.
For the most part, I think
It sounded really clear tonight, and Clark looks a lot better without the backdrop. I don't like Clark.
Yeah, I heard people. Look, it's coming for me.
Well, guys, stay Frantic dreams.
Live long and prosper.
Blankets and bombs to the cure is our hurt.
Okay, I'm excited for the unboxing.
There'll be no fire today for our hurt, for our hurt.
I'm glad. Just as long as it's not you recreating the movie. See?